And we also got another one starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Actually, two at this time slot. We got the Texas Longhorns versus the Kansas State Wildcats. You're looking towards the total in this one, aren't you, Ed?
Yeah, absolutely. When I look at these two teams, I see two teams that are very evenly matched on both offense and defense. The Texas Longhorns will they play a little bit more of an up-tempo style. The Kansas State plays a little bit slower. Don't snap the ball as much, especially for Big 12 purposes. But when you really look at an even matchup between offenses and defenses that are really evenly matched, and essentially tempo where one team plays fast, one team plays slow. Let's call it even between both teams. You expect about an average of about 56 points. That's about the FBS average. My numbers put it at about 56. These are numbers that look at yards per play, adjusted for strength of schedule. I see more than the 49 points that are out there being scored in this game. Another factor I look into this game is the spread is pretty tight. I think Texas is about a 3-point favorite, and those are other games where I like to look at the over. You have more of a chance of a close game. You have less likely of a scenario and one team really gets ahead and starts running the ball to burn the clock. And of course, in a tight game, you can always get overtime, which always helps the over as well. So a lot of reasons that thinking about the over in this Kansas State at Texas game.
And Ed, just to come back at you, I mean, with the total just at 50 or actually as low as 49 at Bet Online, what were the odds makers, in your opinion, thinking about? Because you bring up, Texas running tempo. I guess Kansas State on the other side, not as fast. But why would they open with such a low number, in your opinion?
There's some concerns about Shane Buechele, the quarterback of Texas. He was walking around in a boot. He kind of tweaked his ankle in the last game. All reports is that he practiced on Thursday and that he's good to go. We also know that the backup, Shane Buechele Jr., I think his name's Erlinger. He played against USC, looked pretty good. He's probably not quite as good as Buechele. I think that might be the reason.
Okay, no,
Otherwise,
that makes sense.
I honestly don't know quite why it's this low. I mean, I can make up things about Buechele, but he's listed as questionable, and I got to think he plays in a Big 12 game if he is ready to go. And besides that, I really couldn't find another reason why this total is that low.
Okay, well, hey, we got one more, the 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time start on Saturday. And speaking of overs, I mean, SMU offensively has been, they've just kind of have that profile of being an over team, mix that with their defense, which hasn't been much this year. But it looks like you're looking to go in the SMU Houston game more on a side here. It looks like 63 is the total, and using the SBR odds screen, we got -6.5 or -7 across the board. So how are you looking to bet this one, Ed?
Yeah, I like the Houston side in this game. I think Houston is a team that got pretty good under Tom Herman, and they have a lot of those pieces back over the last 2 years, especially on the defensive side of the ball. When I look at yards per play adjusted for strength of schedule, Houston is a top 20 unit. This is a unit led by Ed Oliver, the defensive tackle. He was a 5-star recruit, and it was a big deal for Tom Herman to get him to go to an American Athletic Conference school. I feel like when I look at the numbers, Texas's defense is really what makes the difference in this game. We know that the SMU's offense has been pretty good under Ben Hicks, the quarterback, this season, but I really think they have a ceiling. I don't see them as, I don't even see them as a top 40 offense this year. I think Houston's defense really is able to hold them down. That's why I like the side in this game. And Ed Oliver's a little bit banged up. He's listed as questionable, but I got to think he plays. And Houston's defense is able to allow them to cover in this game.
All right, I like that breakdown, Ed. And so you got Colorado State over 64, Texas over 49, and it looks like Houston the side -6.5. Make sure to shop around at SBR odds. Use the screen to get the best number, because there are some 7s out there. So make sure you're shopping at a book that has the 6.5. And those will be the 3 plays for Ed, who's been a 2-1 machine here. Going back to back, profitable results, Ed. So thanks for your time. Anything else to add in college football wise before we wrap it up?
Yeah, absolutely. Just one thought from last week. We called it. I said I liked the USC over at Washington State. Washington State was actually able to win that game. It was one of those things where, I mean, I still don't think it was a terrible call. I think that both those teams are units with offenses that are better than their defenses, and you can see a lot of points scored in that game. But I do remember having the belief that USC was more of an over team, and I feel like I thought that just because Stanford was able to break some big plays against them. And some of my numbers kind of went against it. I think I had them ranked 25th in defense in terms of yards per play, adjusted for strength of schedule. So anyways, I thought, like, I don't think it was a terrible play by any means, but it was one of those things where, maybe I could have gone with my numbers a little bit more in the sense of feeling that maybe USC wasn't as much of an over team as I originally thought. So looking forward, I'm not quite looking for USC as much on the over side when we're looking at totals. But otherwise, had a ton of fun last week. Really enjoyed the second half of that LSU Troy game, where Troy was really able to, go toe to toe with the SEC school at the line of scrimmage and get that upset. And I was never confident in the LSU hiring of Ed Orgeron, and now they have a GoFundMe campaign for his $12 million buyout, which is pretty comical.
Yeah, it feels pretty good when you pick the 3-touchdown dog and they win outright, huh, Ed?
Yeah, that was fun, and just from a perspective of believing that LSU was overrated heading into the season, that was particularly fun.
Yeah, man. Well, hats off to you, and hopefully another 2-1, or who knows, maybe 3-0 week this week. But this is Man vs. Machine for Ed Feng. I'm Drew Martin. We'll see you next week.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.